Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. These are the top 5 Christmas films for people who hate Christmas films. Yeah, I got that from the Joker.
Is that where you got that from? But wait, before you start, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes. All right, my top 5, well, I mean, my number 5 is Die Hard.
Ho, ho, ho.
Bruce Willis, it's like the starting of his action thing in the 80s, okay? And it stars him, it stars Alan Rickman, and he is at this Christmas party for his wife. These people are just having a good old time, and then Alan Rickman comes in here and messes everything up, and he wants to steal a whole bunch of freaking money, and he holds the building under siege, man. This film gets talked about for 40 years if it's a Christmas film or not, and I think it is, mainly because he wouldn't even be there in the first place if he wasn't invited to a Christmas party. Okay,
right.
So
the whole thing kind of revolves around a Christmas party. I don't think it takes place on Christmas Day, but it's like a Christmas party, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you got fucking Carl Winslow in there, Reginald Vale Johnson. Right. He's in there, man, and it's like it seems like he's meant to play a cop, so he just plays a cop and everything. The action in this film is great. Alan Rickman is amazing as a freaking bad guy, and this was way before he played Professor Snape in Harry Potter. So
right,
but he was just menacing in this film and devious. You know,
right? Like you said, this is like the movie that everyone talks about for like secret Christmas movies type thing, you know. But they do it for a reason, because it's like actually like a good movie. It's like actually like a fun movie. And not only that, Bruce Willis is like likable. Like even that is like unusual for Bruce Willis. He's usually kind of prickly and kind of off-putting in his films, but he's like a likable everyman. So yeah, I see why people talk about it so much.
Yeah. And up until this point, I believe in his career, he did a lot of like romantic comedies.
I kind of cheated, and I've got 6 on my list. So I've got an honorable mention. This isn't quite my number 5.
I got one of those too.
I'm sure you do. It was kind of hard to narrow down the list. But my honorable mention before I get to my number 5 is Hook. What a fun movie. It's also kind of a terrible movie, but the reason why it doesn't quite make the criteria is, obviously the movie's about Peter Pan. He's grown up and he has forgotten that he was Peter Pan. Yeah. But the way he figures it out is he goes to London. I thought initially that he went to London for Christmas. When I was a kid, I was like, yeah, of course. You go home for Christmas, whatever. He actually did.
Business trip.
He went to London for a charity event for Grandma Wendy, and which is really funny because him and Wendy used to, and now she's the old lady.
Hello, boy.
Steven Spielberg absolutely hates this movie. I think he was embarrassed by it. The plan for the film was actually to tear down all the sets and put them in like a Disney World type of attraction type thing. But the sets look like shit, so they just threw them in the garbage. So it's just really funny.
I don't know why, because it's etched in my memory.
Exactly.
It's etched in everyone's memory as one of their and the reason why it's etched in everyone's memory is because of Robin Williams. Right. That is the reason why.
And you were like, 6. So, for a certain generation, right, it has been etched in our memory. But people older than us remember this as a bad film. And people younger than us, I think, see the memes from Rufio and are confused by why this is like such a big thing. And some people point to this as like one of Steven Spielberg's bad films. I don't think it's a bad film. I like it, but I'm also very much aware that like it's 99% nostalgia. But that was my honorable mention. My real number 5 is a movie we actually talked about before, and that is The Long Kiss Goodnight. One Kiss Goodnight is a freaking fantastic film. It is so stupid, and yet it takes itself so seriously that somehow it flips around and becomes stupid.
I found the address in your coat. Here, between the address of a topless bar and the picture of what looks like a man's penis.
That's a duck, not a dick.
And for me, this is by far my favorite Samuel Jackson performance ever. When I think of Samuel Jackson, I think of this guy. I can't remember his name, but the detective that he plays.
You can't kill me, motherfuckers!
He's very cool. He wears weird, bizarre outfits. He is so funny and so wry. It's a great movie. Quick synopsis, it's about a lady who, at a Christmas parade, someone recognizes her. And she doesn't know anything about herself. She's got, like, amnesia. But someone recognizes her at the Christmas parade. And they're like, I know you. You're a freaking secret agent, and you put me in jail, and I'm going to kill everyone you've ever known. It becomes kind of like a Born Identity type thing before Born Identity. Yeah. But it is such a fun, silly movie. And it's so Christmassy that I think at one point she slides down like some Christmas lights.
Lights.
Like, it's so cool. She gifts her daughter like this peeing doll, and it pees out gasoline and blows up a car. Like, it's just a great movie.
It's freaking awesome. Some of the most craziest stunts.
Written by Shane Black.
But yeah, that's also Samuel Jackson's favorite character that he's played.
Right, yep, it was.
My number 4, brother, is a film that came out in 2003, which started the career of, speaking of Iron Man, this started the career of a director, Jon Favreau. Elf.
Okay, people, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town. Santa! Oh my God! Santa here? I know him.
But isn't that like a straight up Christmas movie?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Will Ferrell is annoying. Okay, he's extremely annoying. So you can easily hate this film because he gets on your nerves. He's like a big ass kid in a big body. And you're like, this is the most goofiest thing I've ever seen. He's adopted by Santa Claus somehow, and then he goes to find his dad in the city, and he's a fish out of water. Through his actions and his antics, he becomes a member of the family, 1, and 2, he changes the mind and the hearts of everyone that's around him about Christmas, and I think that's really cool.
Okay, yeah. I'll let you in a secret.
What?
Never seen Elf.
Oh,
Never seen
gosh.
it. I think I was just too old when it came out and got popular. And I'll be honest, I know. But I'll be honest, I never was really like the biggest Will Ferrell fan. So I was like, Will Ferrell dressed like an elf. Bye. And so I just tossed it over my shoulder, forgot about it. And now it's become like some sort of like cultural zeitgeist type movie. And I still have never gotten around to seeing it. But from what I understand, the movie is, like you said, like heartwarming. Like there's like real, like actual emotion going on. And I imagine that's probably why it's really like, stood the test of time. My number 4 is an obvious one. This one always is in my top 3 for my favorite movies of all time. And that is Edward Scissorhands. It's because of Christmas that all this kind of weird stuff happens. As we all know, Edward is, I don't know what the hell Edward is. Is he an android? Is he a cyborg? Doesn't matter.
Is he a freaking Frankenstein thing put together?
He's a thing. He's a being that has never left his castle. He gets visited by a very desperate Avon lady, and which is just hilarious on its own. And the Avon lady sees this scary, creepy thing with knives for hands, and she was like, you know what? You need family around for Christmas.
I think you should just come home with me.
And
Yeah.
that's essentially how the whole film starts. She brings this, what she initially thinks is a monster, but realizes is really just like a boy, down from this mountain and introduces him to all her friends and family. And it turns out they do not really get along that well. And it's unclear whether or not the Avon lady's actual family, if they like him or if they're just like tolerating him because he's like new and exotic. And so anyway, I love this movie. It's great. I think all the themes about family and how, you know, sometimes you have family that you were born into, and there's a family you can pick, and sometimes you and your family might butt heads. I like that a lot, and it feels like a very fun movie. And if you don't like a Christmas movie, you can put this on, and people will look at it, and they'll just assume you're watching a Christmas movie, even though that, you know, it's not really directly about the holiday.
You know what else is a Christmas movie that's made by Tim Burton?
He's got a lot of them.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, he does have Batman Returns. Yep. Yep.
And in this film, we talked about, in our review for it, that this Edward Scissorhands is Tim Burton.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Well, Edward Scissorhands is who Tim Burton thinks he is. Or maybe that's who he was, but that's certainly not who Tim Burton is anymore.
No.
Tim Burton may have started off life as Edward Scissorhands, but now he's more of like a Darth Vader type guy where he works for all the bad people now. He works for big corporations. All his movies are extra super popular. He's got people who will straight up die for him. So like he's the exact opposite of Edward in every single way nowadays. But maybe when he first imagined the character, maybe he was close to Edward.
So my third film, I'm sticking with the Christmas tradition, man, with the rest on way. Okay. But it's The Grinch.
The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
These are just straight up Christmas movies, dude.
I'm sticking with the Christmas theme. Okay. If you hate these Christmas movies, there's something wrong with you. I'm trying to get you in the Christmas spirit.
I guess I was confused. I thought the point was it was Christmas movies for people who don't like Christmas movies. So I kind of assumed it wasn't a Christmas movie.
They're gonna like it. Okay. Dr. Seuss. I don't care nothing about no green eggs, there ain't no ham. I care nothing about no Cat in the Hat. This was my guy. Okay. Because he was devious. He as a kid, he was, I looked at him like, oh, he's up to something. You know, I want to be up to something. So I always just thought
I knew you as a kid. You were always up to something.
Exactly. You know, and just see, every time this would come on Christmas, I have to watch it. I have to watch it not just because of the themes of "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch." It's the story about him being totally upset with people down there, but ruin his bad time. But he ends up growing and having a heart.
Right.
Having a heart for these people, and he's actually seeing that these people go through all their turmoil and stuff, but when it comes to Christmas Day, they're actually happy. Okay, so one, you people out there that hate Christmas movies, you are the Grinch. Okay, all right, you need to be like the people in Whoville.
That's funny.
All right, get some Christmas cheer and share your damn ham.
So my number 3 is a movie we both seen, and that is The Green Knight.
O greatest of kings, indulge me in this friendly Christmas game. Let whichever of your knights is boldest of blood and wildest of hearts step forth.
The whole thing takes place around a Christmas game. He cuts off the head of the Green Knight, and a year later, you gotta get that head cut off, boy.
Yeah.
And the reality of Christmas coming up and just the dread of seeing that calendar count closer and closer and closer to his death is like, whoa, that's really scary. And he's got to make this like huge like odyssey to get to the Green Knight. And along the way, he's got to face his fears, and and people are constantly asking him. It's like, why are you doing this? You could just not do it. just run away. What's he gonna do? Just don't do it. And he's like, no, I want to be a myth. I want to be a legend. I want to be the greatest. This is how you do it. And it's like, by getting your head chopped off, dude, you know? But the movie's all about maturing and growing up. And I like that a lot because in the beginning of the film, our main character, he was very much a child, very much a little boy. He looked forward to Christmas. He loved it. And on Christmas, he spent Christmas in the whorehouse and got drunk.
Yeah.
And had himself a good old time. But he was forced to grow up very fast. And turns out Christmas is not as much fun for the adults. He's like dreading the responsibility that he's taken on to get his head lopped off.
I remember reviewing that film, and I said that, you know, Dave Patel did an amazing job.
I was kind of lukewarm on it initially. I was like, I found myself being frustrated with this main character, but it was one of those movies that was like a little splinter, you know, like a splinter in your mind, as they say in The Matrix, where you just can't really forget about it. And I just kept thinking about it over and over and over again. And I like that a lot. I like movies that make you think, that make that you might leave the theater with one thought, but then you chew on the movie and there's more movie there. You know what I mean? You keep chipping away and there's more there. And so that's kind of how The Green Knight was for me. And it really grew on me. And it looks cool. Like, it's a really good looking film. So if anything, just the imagery is enough to warrant a watch.
My number 2 is a Christmas film. Okay. It is Jingle All the Way.
Oh, excuse me. Yes? I'm trying to find a Gentleman doll.
Me too.
Do you have any more in the back?
I personally never would think Arnold Schwarzenegger would be anywhere near a Christmas film, even though he did Kindergarten Cop, whatever. But I didn't think he would do a Christmas film. That seems way too.
At least not back then. Yeah.
Yeah, not too jolly and just like, honey, I'm home. I get the get the turkey ready. I got the Christmas tree.
And also, just to be honest, I think there is a level of like jank with Christmas films. They feel kind of hokey and lame. And so to have, at the time, the biggest star in the world be in a Christmas film felt odd. And so it was like, what? You know, today you could totally see him do it because he's not the star he once was. But back then, to see Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, in a warm and fuzzy Christmas film was odd.
He was a dad that was working a lot, never really spent too much time with his kid. He's like, I'm gonna make it up for you this Christmas. I'm gonna get you, what's the toy that you want? What's the toy? He's like, Turbo Man, action, blah, 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 blah. And shoot, as a kid, I was like 10 years old. I was like, yo, that sounds nice.
Yeah, I want to, man.
You know, with the Kung Fu grip. He promised that he's going to get him that toy. But that toy was the hottest thing on the market that year, man. Right. We just did a movie called Thanksgiving where Black Friday killed people. They were going crazy in that film. It was like Black Friday before the Thanksgiving horror film. You know, knocking people over and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I love the battle between him and Sinbad. Sinbad was hilarious.
I forgot he was in that movie. That's right.
Yeah, man. He was the mailman that brought a bomb.
It's really funny.
Another heartwarming film by a person that you would not expect to be in a Christmas film.
Do you know why he was in that Christmas film, though?
Why?
It's because Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger had a blood feud.
Yes, I remember that.
Hated each other in the 90s and 80s. Okay, it was like on site. Okay, these days, yeah, they're starring together in really shitty movies now. But back then, no way. And they were playing a really effed up game of chess. Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, God, I sure want to be in this movie. And then Stallone's like, I'm in the movie now. I got it. You know, so they were stealing each other's movies. And so when Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger realized that's what was happening, they started to trick each other. So Arnold very famously pretended like he was in that movie, that he wanted to be in that movie, what's it called? Like Stop or I'll Shoot Your Grandmother or some shit. I can't remember what it's called.
Stop. Or my mom will shoot.
It's one of Stallone's like biggest bombs. Okay, Schwarzenegger, he knew that shit was gonna be a bomb. He knew it was freaking terrible. But he tricked Stallone into being in that film. But Stallone tricked Arnold into being in Jingle All the Way. But it turns out to be a movie that people like. So it kind of worked out for Arnold, but it didn't really work out for Sly.
Well, try to do something helpful. Try to do something nice and original. Get balked at by a snapping turtle.
So what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is a classic, and because I'm sticking with the Tim Burton thing, and that is Batman Returns. You literally already mentioned it. Honestly, it's not my favorite Batman movie. I prefer the 89 Batman. After the success, the absolute massive success of 1989's Batman, it's hard to really explain how big that film was. Some people say it was like the first big modern blockbuster, where, like I said, the poster was just the logo. No words, nothing, like cold, right? And it was the biggest movie of all time. So they're like, yo, this Tim Burton guy, he knows what he's doing. Give him the money and turn your back, because he gonna take care of you, okay? And he did not, right? He did not. He was like, I'm gonna make a freaky ass movie. And then when the executives saw it, they were like, how do we market this? We have a deal with McDonald's. We can't have a barfing penguin as the toy. Like, what the hell? This film's fun, though, because something about Batman works really, really well around holidays. I think it's because he's got no family. And Christmas makes you think of family. And since he's like a loner type person, there are people like that who they don't have anybody for Christmas.
Bro, he has Alfred. Okay,
that's it.
that's his homie, man. They're always gonna exchange presents. And then he has freaking Robin. I said in the song.
That's the irony of Batman, right? He wants his family that he was born with, but he seems to be rejecting the family that he's choosing, right? And it's very cool looking. It's a very cool looking movie, but not my favorite Batman. I know some people though. This is their number 1 favorite Batman film, but for me, I prefer the 89 version. But it is still a very good movie, and I do recommend it.
Well,
wait. Huh? What's your honorable mention?
Ben Affleck, Reindeer Games.
It's the story of your life, Ash. You fucked the wrong guy.
At that time, I didn't think of Ben Affleck as a action hero. I always thought him as a person that was like an add-on, like to like Armageddon or something like that.
An add-on?
Add-on character.
He already won an Oscar.
No, he won an Oscar for writing, not as like leading man. And this was a leading man type of film. Great action in that film, and it made me think that he could carry a film by himself. And then he ended up doing Paycheck and all other stuff, and ran John Woo out of the country and stuff. So, yeah.
I'm not sure if I've seen Reindeer Games. It's like one of those movies that I used to be on like TNT a lot. So I feel like I've seen like pieces of it. I'm not sure if I've actually seen the film.
Check it out, man.
Yeah,
it's a good action. It's a good action flick, man.
Okay.
My number 1 film is the GOAT of all Christmas films, Home Alone 2, not Home Alone 1.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
It's a bigger sandbox, has way more characters in the film that Kevin McAllister interacts with. He interacts with the pigeon lady that he was originally scared of. And then he interacts with the freaking candy guy and the toy shop guy.
And he interacts with Donald Trump.
That's very... Stop. I go back to the movie and I just don't remember that. But he interacts with freaking Tim Curry, man. And then Rob Schneider when he was like, tip, and he just gives him the gum. It's great. It's like, it made me feel like, man, I want to be this kid. But the first film, I was like, I don't want to be this kid. People trying to break into my house. I gotta protect it and stuff like that. At least he's doing something like noble and seeing the sticky bandits at this time.
Blasphemy.
Listen.
Blasphemy.
Listen.
First of all, they're the wet bandits. And secondly, who wouldn't want to be Kevin McAllister from the first movie?
That's stress. That's stress. That's stress, okay? That's stress on a little 7-year-old's brain.
I don't need this kind of negativity in my life.
No, listen, this guy is giving back to the community, all right? He sees that the Sticky Bandits are freaking stealing money that's supposed to go to the kids in the orphanage. And he's like, yo, Home Alone 2 is the ultimate Christmas film, period.
A lot of people would agree with you, but they'd be wrong because it's Home Alone, the original OG, that is the best.
Nate, give me a gift. No, compare, contrast, or debate me. Why you think it's the best one?
Because without Home Alone 1, there'd be no Home Alone 2. That's one. Two,
no.
The actual story is much more heartwarming and it's much more likable. And not only that, 3, there's like a ticking clock at the end of Home Alone where he's got to set up all the traps and it's like a whole thing. And in the Home Alone 2, he's like goes to like his uncle's like abandoned brownstone or some shit. Like, no. Your own
but he's
home,
doing a good deed.
Your own home is so much more personal. Home Alone 1 was a much more personal story.
Too much risk.
And not only that, the wet bandits, they weren't really after Kevin. They were just after the money. But in this one, now that Kevin is actually here, they've got some sort of vendetta. It's a whole like to do.
Yeah!
I like that a random group of thieves tried to break into your mom's house and you beat the shit out of them with paint cans. That's fun to me. That's much more fun. Home Alone 2, I'm not trying to say Home Alone 2 is a bad film, but Home Alone 2, in my opinion, doesn't hold a candle to the OG, the original, Home Alone 1. And not only that, Joe Pesci starred in this film and he starred in, what was it, Casino? Like at the same time? Like, so he's sitting here making 2 killer back-to-back films. You got him at his prime. Please, the OG Home Alone rules. And it beats out the second one. Now, the second one is a bad film. I just think it's better.
Devin's wrong, everybody. What's your number one?
I thought you were supposed to be debating. What's up with the debate? You don't got no answers now, huh?
I already gave you the answers. I gave you the... I gave you the answers. Bigger sandbox.
Blouses.
Oh, bigger I gave you the answers. It's a bigger sandbox. Okay.
That they do nothing
More
with.
People,
he just hangs out with an old stinky pigeon lady. Get out of here.
Whatever, man. It's about
You're gonna
lessons.
tell me you weren't scared of that furnace in the original? That shit didn't send a chill down your little kid's spine. Get out of here. You're a liar. You're telling me that the idea that his neighbor might be a killer and might have the bodies in that salt can, you tell me that didn't scare you and that wasn't the coolest shit ever? Get out of here. Get out of here.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Go ahead, go with your number one.
They're both great films, but
yeah, they are.
The original Home Alone is better. Anyway.
Agree to disagree. Go ahead and go to your
But for real though, I do like that film quite a lot. I'll watch it every year. My number one choice though, for Christmas movies, for people that dislike Christmas movies, is a classic film. One of the greatest films of all time. And that is, of course, The Godfather. Especially the original Godfather, even though the Godfather 1 and 2 both have like Christmas themes. But the original Godfather, in my opinion, is so fantastic. It's hard not to keep watching it the second it comes on. There's literally nothing I can say about Godfather that hasn't been said 100 million times. That's one of the reasons why we've never reviewed it on this channel. Because I'm like, what are we going to say? Like, everyone said everything about it. I like Godfather 2. But Godfather 1 is lean, it is mean, it is fantastic. Godfather is about the mob, obviously.
The mob.
But mostly it's about a king and his 3 sons. And one of those sons must become the new leader. The new leader of the family, the new patriarch. And each of his sons, they all have these awful flaws. The oldest is Fredo, but Fredo's an idiot. Right. So everyone dismisses Fredo. They're like, Fredo definitely can't run this family, dog. No. But Sonny is a violent, angry man who is very easily distracted. Where Michael is much more calculating, but he has no warmth. Michael is the coldest human alive. So literally none of these guys could really take over from the family. But the reason why it's a Christmas film is because a lot of scenes take place on Christmas. There are all these great scenes of them going Christmas shopping. The patriarch Vito gets shot almost to death while, looking at Christmas ornaments and picking up an orange, walking down the street in New York, and someone guns him down. It all takes place around Christmas. And the reason why I think that's so smart is because Christmas is one of those things where it brings together family that maybe wouldn't ordinarily sit at the same table. Your nice guy uncle, Fredo, who's a little too dumb for his own good. Your mean asshole uncle who will choke you the F out at any moment. Sonny is sitting right there. And your conniving, pretends to be nice, but conniving, slick one, Michael, is sitting there too. All of them vying to sit in the big chair next year. There's literally nothing negative to say.
Do you renounce Satan?
I do renounce him.
So that is our top 5 Christmas films for people who hate Christmas films. You should be jolly all the time. Okay?
I'm not sure if you understood the assignment, man.
Hey,
you only had Christmas films.
I'm jolly. Okay, I'm jolly, and I want people to be jolly too. So I'm gonna get up in some Christmas films. All right, this is I'm showing you what you need to not hate. Okay, but
and to be fair, all your movies were great. I liked all those films.
Thank you very much. And your movies was really good too, very entertaining. But more importantly, which list did you agree with? Get in the comments and let us know which list, my list or Devin's list, that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We really do appreciate you guys. Our subscriber count is going up. You guys are liking our shorts. You guys are liking videos, but we need you guys to talk to us, and then we also need you guys to hit that subscribe button. It's right there. Get my ball on it, man.
Yo, what's on it?
Get my ball on it, dog.
Just one though?
Get my ball on it. Okay, go ahead. Click it.
That's right. Click Tyrone's ball.
And if you did like this video, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the channel more than you know. Or you can hit that thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion. But just remember one thing. It is mostly wrong. Oh.